Hey everyone, Mark and Joe here on a Saturday morning, and we're talking about another outdoor sport. We just did our PGA show, and we're going to do a tennis show. We're going to start to do more of the tennis as we head towards the end of the season. The events become important, and this one kind of selfish. It's our event.
Well, it's actually
a
really important event for everyone leading up to the U.S. Open because obviously it's a hard court surface. The U.S. Open's in a couple weeks. It's actually the big event a lot of people come and kind of get reps for. Obviously not the vets like Roger Federer and Djokovic, but Nadal's here, Serena's here on the women's side. So it is a prep for the U.S. Open for a lot of these people, and then obviously it's in Canada for us with a bunch of Canadians playing. So, and actually 3 Canadians still relevant in the tournament, so we're real excited about it. So that's what we're going to do a show.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the players moving on, but first of all, I just want to remind you on the channel, ultimatesportschannel.com. See a full news feed there, and some of the things you'll see, we talk about all the top sports that we talk about, but just of note, Simone Biles became the first person in history to perform difficult beam dismount during the U.S. Olympic Championships. And so a great story there. Obviously, there's lots of other sports than just the key ones that we always focus on. You can see that on ultimatesportschannel.com. So if you're a fan of the show and you normally watch all the professional stuff we do, you can also see stories like that are very interesting to read. So set it as your homepage. Also want to bring up a sponsor that was sponsored before and is coming back, cooliecover.com, sunglasses. And that's what's needed in tennis. That's what's needed sitting there watching those hours and hours of golf and tennis. You need sunglasses on. The participants don't wear them, but all the fans should have them. It's been remade, the website, to be quality-only glasses. There was some feedback. They had cheap glasses on the site. And, you know, you need good quality. So now I think they've gone to all good quality and excellent quality glass. I think the cheapest one is $50. But it gets you what you need to be watching sports and playing sports in lots of cases, recreationally especially. So go there, cooliecover.com. And that leads us into our outdoor sport, which is tennis. It's called the Rogers Cup, which is our Canadian event of the year. Everything is big in Canada because we don't have multiple cities that run these. These are all done for the whole country. So lots of attention on that this week. As Joey said, preparation for the U.S. Open. Unfortunately, on the women's side, the seeds dropped like flies this week. But we still have some great interest in this event because we've got a Canadian in the semifinals. First time in like 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a lot of top seeds go down on the women's side, although Serena's there, and really, you got Serena on one side and our Canadian on the other side. So you could actually have the perfect final if Bianca Andreescu can get through on the Canadian. On her side, she actually had a good chance this week. This match against a 20-year-old American. So actually a little bit more of a futures type of game here. Yeah. Kind of setting up in the semifinals on her side of the bracket. She's 19, the other girl's 20. We'll see. You know, she's actually been really good against top players in the world. She's going to have to be, real focused and keep that intensity that she has against the top players. Against an opponent like this, obviously she's earned her way to face her. So together, they're both hot, playing good tennis, riding a lot of comments for young tennis players. And Bianca's got a chance to get to the final.
She was coming off 3 months of injury. Like, this is an amazing tournament for her. She stepped right back in, has been getting better. Every match has been 3 sets. Talk about stamina. She has been unbelievable. She looked beat yesterday and came back in the 3rd set to win that set. Incredible intestinal fortitude. A winning attitude. Never thinks she's out of a match. Can hit unbelievable shots. The way she can get around the court's amazing. So we give her credit. Whatever happens today and tomorrow, 3 setters every match, and she's won the 3rd set each case. She's dropped a set, getting ready for that, and she's been able to pull off these 3rd set. Fantastic wins.
Yeah, but she needs to win and get in the final because otherwise we got nothing to watch tomorrow. So then you got obviously Serena Williams on the other side, actually facing a qualifier. Now you want to talk about stamina. This chick has been through 3 qualifying matches and then all the way to here in the semifinals against Serena. I watched her last night for the first set against Simona Halep. She just runs left and right and all over the place, and it's unbelievable what she's been able to do. Another young tennis star, maybe a future as well, who knows. But yeah, this is actually only her first time making it, obviously, anywhere. She's never been out of the first round, been qualified, and now she gets to face Serena in the semis. So I'm going to butcher her name, but her name is M. Bushkova, beating many top seeds to get here, including Sloane Stephens, Simona Halep last night. And honestly, like, you want to talk about stamina, that doing qualifications, then doing this, and before the qualification, she just finished a lower end tournament, so she's been going nuts. I don't think she has a chance against Serena if Serena can play anywhere close to where she played last night against Osaka. I mean, obviously, she had 12 aces last night. That's Serena's power.
And that was a match that came from the U.S. Open. That was what her meltdown on the court, and all that went on between these two players. So it was kind of intimidating on the young player to come into that match, I think, more than Serena.
No, I mean, she had beat Serena twice. Actually has a winning record against Serena, obviously 2-0 against Serena. And really, I think what it came down to, though, is more like a men's match where there was actually not many. There's only one break in each set.
Yeah.
And that's really what decided. Serena just had her serve going, as far as I'm concerned. Again, in the other matches, Serena's serve wasn't going as strong, which allowed Osaka, who I believe is better, kind of moving, obviously up and downs, lefts and rights, against Serena, who's 37 years old. So it's obviously a lot harder for her to do it now. But when Serena serves the way she does, she's just still the most dominant tennis player there is. That serve is up there with the men's speed of a serve. So
she needs that to be working.
That's what she does. If she does this against this qualifier, shouldn't be an issue. But this qualifier can move, and it will be interesting. But what a story for her! Probably more impactful on her life than obviously any of Serena winning. But for the tennis side of the world, you really want Bianca, the Canadian, against Serena in the finals to be an epic finals, especially here in her hometown, Toronto. Yeah. It'd be awesome. And I know that Serena's prep for the U.S. Open, so she's really focused and dedicated, trying to get a win going in the U.S. Open because she's struggled in the finals she's reached, which have been in the majors. She struggled once she's gotten there. So
she starts to, she's 30, I think she's 30, even 38, just turned or something. And, I mean, it's tough to go at this pace, through all of these matches and be good in the final as well. So she's been struggling with that. We'll see what happens. We'd love to see our Canadian win. Be huge for Canadian
Well, I just want to
tennis.
see her face Serena in the finals. It'd be huge for the hometown of Toronto.
The fans would be going crazy.
Yeah, and credit to the whoever does move on, whoever loses, both long tournaments, not really favorites. So all these tournaments meant a lot to all the women that made it.
And also from a countrywide and a sport-wise, we play tennis recreationally, you and I, and we hardly see anybody out on the tennis courts. And it's not something that, it's not the number one sport the kids go looking for. But when Canadians do something big, when Mike Weir won the Masters, golf exploded in Canada. When the Blue Jays won the World Series, baseball exploded in Canada. So you may not understand this if you're in the U.S. or other places where the city is where it's held, and there's multiple cities during the year that host this as a countrywide, just like the NBA. Basketball next year will be massively increasing in registration because of the Raptors. This is really big. So for tennis, really big. If the Canadian go and win a final, that'll up tennis participation like huge.
For sure. And then on the men's side, we only have one semifinal set, and it's a all Russian affair out there in Montreal. That's going to happen today. The other semifinal will contain Nadal, who did win last night. The only thing is opponent, and it was not decided due to weather. So they will be playing today. So you got to assume that whoever Nadal faces, Nadal should have an upper hand because this person will have to play 2 matches in one day. It could either be Busta Agut or Monfils. I don't know much about it. I know actually Batista, who had a good Wimbledon run, actually faced Djokovic. I've been one of the few that had beaten Djokovic quite a bit, and Djokovic got the upper hand in the semifinals in Wimbledon. So obviously he's been playing good. They'd be fellow countrymen facing each other, so that could be an interesting all-Russian semifinal, and then an all-Spain semifinal could be your 2 semifinals out in Montreal on the men's side, which would lead to, obviously, a Russian and a Spaniard playing the final. Hopefully it's Nadal for the sake of the fans. But
it's also, we got to assume he's going to. What's he got, 9 wins here, I think?
Yeah, Nadal really.
We got to thank Nadal because honestly, any event that's around a major is tough. We did not draw very well on the men's side. The top three seeds are not there. Nadal comes. It's fantastic. Really love the guy coming to Canada. He's been huge. Won 9 times here. There's no reason to assume he won't win again and go to number 10.
I think it's more like 5, but he's won a lot. And Roger Federer's come quite a bit actually throughout his career. Really, Roger Federer had actually been kind of a staple to this event. He'd come quite often. Just obviously now later in his career,
he's older now.
He doesn't want to come. Also, I know he normally likes to go to Toronto instead of Montreal too. They switch every year, by the way. If you don't know, the women will be in Montreal next year.
Yeah.
The men will be in Toronto. Serena probably won't come next year. She doesn't like going to Montreal. She wins in Toronto. So I don't know if the surface plays a little different for her. Maybe it's the city they like to come to. I'm not sure, but that is obviously part of it. But also, in the doubles side, Denis Shapovalov of Canada has reached the semifinals of doubles. Congratulations for him. He needed the reps. He took a little bit of time off. He said he needed to find the love for tennis again. Be good for him to have a good
It's
finish.
funny to do that after you've been a pro for 2 years, but whatever.
But you know what? When you kind of start out, you power pack your schedule when you start out, and really probably, coaching gets a little bit more intense. You put a little bit more pressure on yourself. If anything, that is the time, believe it or not, that you do maybe overdo stuff because you haven't learned.
Oh, I agree with that, but to say
stage.
you need time to find your love of tennis again is ridiculous.
Well, I think it's more of the love of the work ethic that goes into tennis. I think everyone loves to play their sport, but the work ethic that goes into it is obviously very high. Anyways, regardless of what someone who's never played professional sport has to say, he found it and he's played well, and now here in the doubles, it'd be good for him to get to the finals. The more tennis he plays, the best. Obviously, also, doubles struggle sometimes to get some fanship. So if you have a Canadian in the finals of the doubles, you might get some people out there supporting Shapovalov. Obviously, a Montreal guy.
Doubles tennis is amazing, as I said through our Wimbledon shows. It's phenomenal tennis, and it's fast, and it's back and forth up at the net, and guys are whacking the ball at each other. It's a really exciting form of tennis. So if you haven't seen doubles, grab it on TV over the next couple of days. A lot of time the double matches are not on TV, but the finals probably will be this weekend.
Yeah, and also we have a Canadian girl, Dabrowski, in the semifinals as well as doubles. So she did well at Wimbledon. I believe they actually lost in the final, won in the final. They went to Wimbledon's final, though. I know that. So they're coming off a good major. Here they are here at the Canadian one. Her and her partner are doing well again, obviously, in the semis. That also goes tonight. So a lot of Canadian everywhere in the Rogers Cup as far as tennis goes. Hopefully provides lots of excitement for tomorrow night, on TV for us. Hopefully they can all get to the finals. We have a bunch of Canadians to support tomorrow and watch a bunch of tennis and chill at home and do that. Very well done, though.
We didn't have a very good men's side at all. I mean, Ronic, who was supposed to be our guy, injured again. I don't know if he's going to be able to get his career back on tap. He just cannot avoid injury. It's unbelievable.
And what's funny is they were doing a thing on him
number
about
3 in the world at one time.
when he made obviously the Wimbledon final. He was the first Canadian to ever make the Wimbledon final in the history of tennis, apparently. So that was a big deal. People thought he'd go on to continue to win.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously be there. I still think he's probably the most talented tennis player Canada has ever had.
By far, yeah.
But Felix Auger-Aliassime is expected not just to be a great Canadian, but expected to be one of the best ever. So if he can keep going, that'd be great. Obviously, 19 years old. Has many errors. You saw it in the match against Kucherov. He really should have probably won that match. Too many double faults, too many issues. Couldn't deal with the wind. Obviously, 19 years old, though. And then on the men's side, that's more significant than on the women's side because, so much experience to go into the men's side and strength and power. And you still got the big three reigning over the tennis world. But he should come in. He better come in. Early 20s, start making a difference. Maybe win a major here or there. But you got to remember, they make a lot of damage between the ages of 25 and really 35 in the men's tennis side. You see
it's a lot longer to get there.
You see with Djokovic right now. But, they all have the success young. And Djokovic won a major young. Tiny success. He's got to keep going. He can't just keep losing in third, fourth rounds. Now, I must admit, he's made a couple finals this year. So that's what you got to expect going forward. Maybe in the U.S. Open, he can make a run to a quarters, to a semis. You got to start that road. But obviously, very disappointing for Ronic again. Retired. Now, part of it is the U.S. Open is a good event for him.
Yeah, he had to leave. There's no doubt he had to leave.
He did not want to risk not being able to play in the U.S. Open, which no matter what you think of your home event, a major's everything, and I'm sure Canadian would rather see him win the U.S. Open than the Rogers Cup anyway, so he took that decision and took his chances.
Yeah, which also on the women's side, our woman that's in there for us has got leg issues as well. She's been off the court a couple times for some attendance to her issues.
But this is a lot on the women's side. You gotta understand, Ronic had been in the finals of the Rogers Cup twice. Now, he didn't win it, but he had been in the finals twice. You remember, no woman has even made the semifinals.
Yeah.
So what Bianca is doing here is historic. But also, I think she feels like she can win this event and hopefully recover for the U.S. Open. But she really, really wants this. She could have easily retired. In fact, a couple commentators talked about should she retire in one of these matches and wait for the U.S. Open. No, she's giving her all. She knows what it's all about. This win would mean more, I think, than as much as winning the U.S. Open. Obviously, winning the U.S. Open is going to be tough for her anyway. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more of the top seeds there, assuming a lot of them, they risk it.
But the biggest issue is to be 19 years old and have recurring injuries is a problem.
That's a problem.
She's just been off for 3 months. She comes back. The most guts you could ever ask for in the way she's finished these matches, but has had to leave the court both times to be attended to. come back. She's bandaged up around all up in her upper legs, and you just can't continue that way. And that makes me worried for the longevity of her career. At 19 years old, be suffering with all these injuries. That's what happened to Ronak. The same thing when he was young. Has never gotten over all these injuries that he started with. So anyway, we're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're looking for Canadian to be in the final. We really hope she can win. Obviously, the double side, some great opportunities there too, which is fun to have in your own event. Good for the sponsors that they got 3 Canadians into the semifinals here in the different classes, and we'll look forward to an exciting weekend. We'll come back and update and recap the weekend of this tennis, and hopefully talk about a Canadian or 2 or 3 champions coming out of what's happening on Saturday and Sunday.